Today, somewhere beyond what any of us can fully see, a seat has been kept empty. Not forgotten. Not overlooked. Reserved. Held quietly, patiently, through every season of your life where you felt like you didn't belong anywhere. That seat was never given to anyone else, because it was never meant for anyone but you. This is not an accident. If this video found you today, I don't believe that's random. Something in you has been longing for a sense of belonging lately, even if you couldn't fully explain why. There is a reason your heart wouldn't let you scroll past this. Stay with me. Because today, I want to talk about something deeply comforting, the idea that heaven has never lost track of you, and that a place, a purpose, a portion of your story has been kept aside for you alone, waiting for the moment you were finally ready to step into it. Today, heaven kept one seat empty. It was always for you. Not because you earned it through perfect effort. Not because you never struggled or doubted. Because from the very beginning, that seat was written with your name on it, and nothing you've walked through has changed that. Keep listening. Because what comes next might explain a quiet ache you've carried for a long time, the feeling of searching for where you belong, without realizing that a place had already been prepared for you. Let's talk about why this message reached you today, of all days. You may not realize it, but you've been quietly searching for belonging for a long time. Maybe you've tried to fit into spaces that never truly welcomed the real you. Maybe you've wondered whether there was a place in this world actually meant for you, rather than one you had to force yourself into. What if the timing of this exact moment, you, here, listening to these words, is connected to a truth you've needed to hear for a long time, that you were never meant to force your way into belonging. It was already prepared for you. Think of a home with a table set for a gathering. Every seat has already been assigned, thoughtfully, before any guest arrives. One seat, in particular, has been left untouched, no matter who else has come and gone, because it was always intended for one specific person. That is the kind of place heaven has kept for you. Not first come, first served. Not conditional on you proving your worth. Simply, quietly reserved, waiting for your arrival. You may not have felt this truth clearly until now. But it has been true the entire time. Let's talk about what this seat represents, because it's about more than just belonging. Sometimes, this seat represents a relationship you've longed for. Sometimes, it represents a sense of purpose you haven't fully stepped into yet. Sometimes, it simply represents peace, a place where you no longer have to prove yourself to be worthy of love or belonging. What if the ache you felt, that quiet sense of not quite fitting anywhere, was never a sign that you didn't belong at all, but a sign that you hadn't yet arrived at the place actually meant for you? This isn't about denying real pain or real seasons of loneliness. Those experiences were real, and they mattered. But what if, even in the middle of them, this seat remained untouched, patiently waiting, regardless of how far you felt from where you belonged? You may already sense what this seat connects to in your own life. A relationship you hope to step fully into. A community you've longed to belong to. A sense of purpose you've quietly hoped was still possible for you. Notice what rises in your heart right now. That's not wishful thinking. That's recognition, arriving quietly, the way truth often does. Here's what may have been happening quietly, even during the seasons you felt most alone. There are things that happen behind the scenes that we cannot fully observe. A door that closed, protecting you from a place that was never truly meant for you. A season of loneliness that deepened your compassion for others walking a similar road. A period of searching that ultimately led you closer to who you're meant to become. These experiences don't diminish the reality of that reserved seat. If anything, Scripture reminds us, in its own gentle way, that we are fully known and fully seen, even in seasons when we feel invisible to everyone around us. Heaven's patience with you has never run out. Not during the years you doubted your worth. Not during the seasons you wondered if you'd been overlooked. That seat remained exactly where it always was, reserved, waiting, untouched by your doubt. The loneliness you experienced was never proof that you didn't belong anywhere. It was simply the space between searching and finally arriving. Now let's talk about why this seat couldn't have been claimed any sooner than now. Sometimes, we need enough time, enough healing, enough growth, before we can walk into the place meant for us without carrying old wounds into it. A seat prepared with care deserves someone ready to receive it fully, not someone still burdened by everything that came before. Imagine if you had stepped into this place earlier, before enough healing had taken place. Would you have recognized its worth? Would you have received it fully, or let old fears keep you from settling into it? What if the years of searching, the seasons of feeling out of place, were exactly what prepared you to finally recognize this seat as truly yours, instead of walking past it the way an earlier, less healed version of you might have? The waiting had a purpose. Every season of longing quietly prepared you to receive this moment with open hands instead of clenched ones. So why does this truth feel like it's surfacing now, at this exact point in your life? Because something in you has shifted. Quietly. Gradually. You've likely grown into someone more aware of your own worth, less willing to shrink yourself to fit into spaces that were never truly meant for you. What if this reminder is arriving now precisely because you've finally grown into someone capable of stepping fully into the place that's been kept for you, instead of doubting it the way you might have before? Growth like this rarely looks dramatic. It looks like slowly releasing the belief that you have to earn belonging. It looks like choosing self-respect over shrinking yourself for acceptance. It looks like trusting, even quietly, that you are worthy of the place prepared for you. Every one of those quiet shifts has been preparing you to finally recognize and receive this truth fully. Something is shifting right now, even if your circumstances still look exactly the same on the outside. Have you felt an unexpected sense of peace lately, even amid uncertainty? Has a quiet sense of belonging started to settle in your heart, even without an obvious external reason? These feelings don't confirm a specific outcome or timeline. I want to be honest about that, because faith and trust are not about demanding proof, they are about resting in a truth that doesn't depend on visible confirmation. But these quiet feelings often reflect something real happening spiritually, a preparation of the heart before full clarity arrives. What if your spirit already senses this seat waiting for you, even before your circumstances fully reflect it? Pay gentle attention in the coming days. Not with anxious striving, but with quiet, watchful faith. Notice where peace settles unexpectedly. You don't need to force your way into belonging. You only need to remain open enough to recognize it when you finally arrive. I want to speak honestly to the part of you that struggles to believe this seat has truly been kept for you. Maybe you've felt overlooked before, passed over, forgotten in rooms where everyone else seemed to belong except you. That pain is real, and it deserves to be acknowledged rather than dismissed. But I want to offer you something steadier than fragile hope or lingering doubt, a quiet, enduring trust that doesn't depend on how things have looked in the past. You are allowed to believe you belong, even while parts of your story still feel unresolved. This isn't about pretending certainty you don't feel. It's about trusting a faithfulness greater than your own doubts about yourself. Your story is shifting, not because I can promise you a specific moment or outcome. I can't, and I won't pretend to speak for heaven in that way. But your capacity to believe you are worthy of belonging is deepening. And that matters more than any single moment. Let's imagine, gently, what it might feel like when you finally step fully into this place that's been kept for you. Picture an ordinary moment, nothing staged, nothing forced. And somehow, in a way only heaven could have arranged, you feel it, a sense of belonging settling over you, quiet and undeniable. A relationship, a community, a purpose finally feels like it fits, rather than something you're forcing yourself to squeeze into. Maybe the deepest part of this arrival isn't only the external place itself. Maybe it's the quiet knowledge, settling into your spirit, that you were never forgotten, never overlooked, never without a place, even in the seasons it felt that way. Hold this image with open hands, not clenched ones. Whatever has been kept for you will unfold in its appointed time, exactly as it's meant to. If any part of this reached something in your heart today, write, "I trust divine timing," in the comments below. Not because the words alone change your circumstances, but because declaring what you believe openly has a quiet way of strengthening it within you. You're not the only one hearing these words today, even though it feels like I'm speaking only to you. Somewhere else, right now, someone else is quietly hoping there's a place meant for them too, almost afraid to believe it's true. Before you go, I want to leave you with this. Whatever place, whatever belonging, whatever purpose you've been searching for, know that it has not been given away, and it has not been forgotten. It has simply been waiting for you. You are allowed to rest today instead of carrying the weight of searching alone. What has been kept for you will remain kept for you, exactly until you're ready to receive it fully. Thank you for staying until the end of this. Thank you for letting your heart remain open enough to believe you belong somewhere, even after everything that may have tried to convince you otherwise. That quiet, enduring hope is exactly what will let you recognize this place when you finally arrive. You are not alone. You have never been alone. And whatever today was meant to stir in your spirit, I hope it settles into something steady and peaceful, a quiet trust that stays with you long after this video ends.